Hi, did you know that today is the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Leche League International movement? Yep, back in the mid-50s, a group of women in a church started a breastfeeding support group. Now, why did they do that in the 50s? Because at that time, there was such a push to bottle feed that less than 20% of women in America breastfed their babies. Can you imagine in the 50s? Well, that was because the advertising had started and they were really making money off formula, so they really started pushing it, right? Even the doctors. So these women, though, just kind of used the natural perspective that I often try to use in my life, and that was just that, hey, wait a minute, breasts are for milk and for nursing babies, so maybe that's the best way to do it. Now listen, no condemnation if you bottle fed, but listen, just like there used to be this push against breastfeeding, it took a movement to bring it back. But even today, in 2016, there are women who feel inhibited about breastfeeding their baby. And so I just hope that through a little bit more dialogue again for each new generation that starts having children, and I have 5 millennial children that are starting to have children, and I think they're hearing so much, maybe in support of breastfeeding, but they still are not sure if they feel comfortable about it. So I think we need to remember that it's important to make mothers of babies feel safe to nurse their babies as I believe God intended. But I also really want to just for today celebrate those women that started the movement. I enjoyed being a part of La Leche International when my children were babies in the mid-80s to the mid-90s. I was involved in La Leche League and went to the support meetings. Play groups formed out of those. Some of the women that I was in play groups with our babies and our toddlers and our little bit older children, we're still friends to this day. And that is 20 to 30 years later. And there's just nothing like it to be surrounded with other nursing mothers encouraging you. We shared our hopes and our fears. There's nothing like a movement, and I call it a ministry, like La Leche League, where if you're struggling with getting to nurse, with nursing your baby, you're struggling with continuing to nurse your baby, they will answer any questions you need. And one thing that was really amazing to me that I want to share with you, with my first child, at about 6 weeks of age, when she was 6 weeks of age, I got a bad case of the flu. And I mean, I could hardly lift my head up off the pillow. And so I called a La Leche League consultant and said, should I stop nursing my baby? I don't want to give her the flu. And she said, that would be the worst thing you could do, because your body will make antibodies and send them through your milk to protect your baby. Isn't that amazing? And you know, also when you nurse, there's what we call the mothering hormone that God designed to be put off into our bloodstream as women when we nurse our babies. And that hormone actually lowers our blood pressure and helps us to relax more. And so God really designed it well, didn't he? And I just don't think you can beat his ways. Now, I love in adoption that, you know, babies are bottle fed and some women just want to bottle feed, and that's okay. So I just want to encourage you, those that do, connect with your local La Leche League International support group, and you'll be glad you did. Okay, that's all for now. Bye.